Hey everyone, it's John here from RPO Bay Hockey to give you my opening night lineup for the Washington Capitals for the 2019-2020 season. So if you are here, of course, please do subscribe. If you're new, drop a like. Every like does count. So I'm going to go through my forward group and defense group and, of course, the two starting goaltenders for the Caps to start the season. So let me know what you think. Let me know the changes you're going to make, and I'm going to go through my picks. So for the forward group for the Caps, I think the top line stays the exact same. Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Wilson. You saw what happened with Wilson when he came back from his suspension. Him partnering with Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, that's a dominant top line. And you know what? We saw Burakovsky in the past on this second line, but it's going to be Vrana. And Vrana just signed an extension. He'll be on the second line with Nick Backstrom and TJ Oshie. This is the last year of Nick Backstrom's contract, so he will need an extension, and he's in the same boat as Braden Holtby. The third line, Carl Hagelin, Lars Eller, and your newest addition, Richard Panik. So Panik and Garnet Hathaway, your two newest additions on the forward group, and that brings it to the fourth line. Brendan Lepsic, Nick Dowd, Hathaway, Lepsic, who you also just signed. And I have an asterisk next to Stevenson. Chandler Stevenson, and if we go to our defense group, Christian Juice, one of those two guys will, maybe both of them will need to be either traded or sent down. And the likely option would be at least trading one of them, because the Caps are currently just over the salary cap. And looking at this top six, which I think this will be your Capitals top six. I don't know if Christian Juice will be here, but I believe this will be your top six. Michael Kempny with John Carlson. That worked out during the year. Obviously Kempny and his injury. Orlov with Nick Jensen. Obviously, I think maybe Nick Jensen, I don't know if he necessarily deserves a top four spot, but you know what? Nick Jensen's always been super underrated. He's very good moving the puck forward through the neutral zone, which a lot of defensemen struggle sometimes. And he's a good offensive presence, and it's not like he's a defensive liability. I think there's certain players that we talk about that are just really good at shutting down through physicality, whether it's a hit or a rub out in the corner. Nick Jensen's very smart in just angles, and they were talking about it on NHL Network one time. Nick Jensen for the Caps last year was huge in that. The foot speed behind the net. I actually like Nick Jensen, so I think that's why the Capitals are comfortable having him, and that's why they traded a guy like Niskanen, and I think Gudas will fall on the bottom pair. So I like Kempny with Carlson. I think that's a nice balanced pairing, and I think Jensen and Orlov, there might be a defensive concern there at some points, but I like that pairing. So. And then Holtby and Copley, Phoenix Copley. You know what? A lot of people have kind of talked about the Holtby and the trade rumors and all of that. I don't think they'll trade Holtby. I think they will extend him. But it just comes down to Samsonov is waiting in the wings, and he will want his opportunity. Like other goalies in the past who've been, whether it's, the one name that comes to my mind was Demko in Vancouver, and he really hasn't shown yet. But I do think Samsonov's potential is there. And I think for the Washington Capitals, you do have to consider that, especially being in a cap crunch once you also have to sign Nick Backstrom. So let me know what you think about my predictions. I think overall for the Washington Capitals, they're going to be a contender again. I would say, second, third round would be the minimum for me in the playoffs. Obviously, I'm going to come with my predictions, but I just think this team's too good. And it's now or never for this team to win another cup. They won their first ever cup, and they did that successfully for Alex Ovechkin, but I really do think with this core, it's now or never for this year and then maybe the following year. But Nick Backstrom's getting older. Obviously, Ovechkin's getting older. John Carlson's not getting any younger either. TJ Oshie and his injuries. Obviously, a guy like Kuznetsov, I would say this is his prime right now. And then a guy like Braden Holtby, I would say these are his best years as well, but this is going to be his last contract coming up. So thank you. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a like. Let me know the changes you would make. This was John from RPO Bay Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.